Hello, welcome back. This video, we're going to talk about Microsoft Whiteboard. Whiteboard is a digital whiteboarding app. It's exactly what it sounds like. It imitates the whiteboard that you find in your conference room, but in this case, you're using your computer rather than the expo markers and whiteboard that you have in physical space. This application is really optimized for touchscreen tablets. It was originally a exclusively a Surface application for the Surface laptops from Microsoft, but they've expanded it and it's now a Windows application that is tightly integrated with Office 365. That's why we're having a video on it. So we're gonna in this video take a look at downloading this application into your Windows 10 computer, and then we'll get it connected to Office 365 and look at how to create boards and how to work with it and some of the tools. It's a very straightforward application, but we're going to cover some of the bases because some of the features that you can do with the digital whiteboard are pretty nifty, and hopefully you'll find a way that this application can be helpful to you. So here we are. We're at my Windows 10 desktop. We're not at portal.office.com. It's not. This is not a browser-based application. It's not in the cloud. It's on Windows. So I'm going to have to click my Windows button and I'm going to type in Store because I need to go to the Microsoft Store to get the application. And to get it, it's as simple as going to search and typing in Whiteboard. And being that it's a Microsoft application, you can wait for it to pop down. It'll be the very first one that that pops into the quick search bar, or if you hit enter, you can see all the results. But once again, obviously, it's their tool. It gets first billing in this list as well. So it's a matter of clicking on it from either search box to gives you the description, lets you know how you can use this application. Now, on my box, it's already installed. So you see, I get a launch button. In your case, if you have not installed it yet, you'll get an install button, in which case you'll have to click install and it will install Microsoft. That will then install Microsoft Whiteboard into your Windows. And after a few minutes of a progress bar, yours too will switch to the launch button that you can then use to launch the Whiteboard application. Now, um, you can also once it's installed, you can go into your, let me type it correctly. You can go into your start button, type in whiteboard, and you'll see whiteboard comes up on your list of applications where then you can pin it to the start button, start menu, which I've already done. You can pin it down to your taskbar at the bottom and set some of your settings. So you might want to do that if you're going to use this application a lot. At least pin it to the start, pin it to your taskbar, however you want to use it. I've got it pinned down here with it's a little rectangular icon with a squiggly pin in the middle of it. You can see it out on my taskbar as well. Um, so I'm going to launch it. And when you first log into the application or you first open the application, you are going to see a sign in screen. And that is because the biggest change to Whiteboard is the files that it creates. Each board is a file, kind of like a Word document. You open up Word, you make documents, you save a document somewhere. This is the same way. Whenever you create a board, it saves a board, but that file is a hidden file and it's stored in your OneDrive. So you can't go into, if you go to your OneDrive folder in the portal website and expect to find whiteboards there, you will not find them. They are saved there, but they are invisible. Um, but that's why you'll need to sign in. And so I'm gonna select my tenant that I'm demoing from, doing tutorials from, whatever you call these things. And it will start you out with a blank whiteboard. Now I can go, if I've already got a whiteboard that I want to work with, I can always go right back to home here, which is my whiteboards gallery, and you can see it shows me a list of all my whiteboards that I've created. You can see I've been creating a whole bunch of empty blank ones. Um, but this is a view where you can really see all the boards that exist, and you have the button to create a new one. If you click on one of the existing ones, you'll go into edit mode. It works pretty much the same way. You get to the whiteboard, whether you're creating a new one, whether you're editing it, you're going to end up here at this blank board, as you expect to find in your conference room. Uh, so what I want to, at this point, the rest of the application is really straightforward. There's no big surprises here. It works exactly the way you kind of expect it to. Uh, you can drag the board around a little. You can go right to the pen and start drawing on it if you want, writing, doing whatever you want in your demo. But I want to first take a look at some of the settings, because the settings um, you're going to find them very helpful, and you can do some pretty cool things with it. So, and I'm going to kind of start a little bit down the middle here, because I want to look at format backgrounds. This is the one that really can be kind of cool, because it allows you to set your colors if you're so inclined, if that helps for readability. A lot of times setting a silver makes it a little easier on the eye, a little easier to see, particularly if you're in a screen share, you're doing a Teams meeting or a Skype meeting with your colleagues. It might help to have a little subdued color there. But some of the other neat things is you can set up, so you can select grids uh, to to work with, or ruled paper like you would have in school. This can be a very helpful feature, depending on what kind of content you're preparing. Certainly for someone like me, it helps to make my squares a little more squarish. And same with my writing, a little more even. Uh, so these backgrounds can be very helpful to you. Second thing is, also, like me, if you're always correcting yourself and starting over, like I do with these videos, clear canvas, very helpful setting that you can use there. So I do want to take a little bit of time though and talk about ink to shape and ink to table options, which both of them can be activated um, in here. Both of these features will take, what ink to shape does is, if you draw something that sort of resembles a shape, it'll automatically convert that drawing into the shape. So I can make my little sloppy triangle and I get a nice nifty triangle. Same with my squares, they start to look a little bit better. Very nifty feature. I personally like this one a lot, because see, sometimes it's not, you have to be sort of close for it to figure it out. But for the most part, it does a pretty good job of getting you your shapes to look pretty darn nice. Sometimes, yeah, not so good. I'm working with a mouse here, so my drawing's a little worse than usual. If I was on my tablet, I'd at least have a benefit of that. The table feature works a lot, very similar. Um, we're going to create a table, and voila! As soon as I make that cross line on my table, you'll see I get the options to add rows and layers, and then from there I can begin to uh, just draw right on in here. Once again, I'm using my mouse for this, not my stylus, so please forgive me for the nightmare of writing that is. That's really not writing for that matter. Um, but that's what those two features are: ink to shape, ink to table. Very handy in most situations, particularly if you are doing a presentation during a meeting or some session like that. It really helps your communication. Um, from here, your tools are exactly what you would expect. They're your basic. You got some pen tools, different kinds of pens, highlighters, eraser. You can even set up a ruler and move that ruler around if you need that kind of activity. So you don't really need a lot of instruction on how that works. As I pointed out a couple times, using the mouse can be a painful way of using whiteboard. So if you have some kind of writing tablet that you can add to your computer, or if you've got a touch screen on your laptop, definitely use some kind of a stylus or pen. Makes this program a lot easier to use. Some of the other things we can do, we can add images. I'll use I'll grab some of my images from some of my other videos, but you can drop in images into here. If you have, my computer does not have a camera, surprise, surprise. But if you have a camera, you do get the option to take photos from your webcam, embed them in. You got your good old fashioned post-it note style thing, and as you can see, we've got a lot of other things. There's your camera. You can do a Bing search to get images from Bing. Just keep them in copyright and licensing requirements for the things that you pull off of there. And then you can also type text directly instead of drawing it, paste from other applications. So pretty straightforward. You got kind of the tools that you would expect to have in a whiteboarding application, but we got some other nifty features here that I really wanted to show you and make you aware of. Because as I don't know if you noticed when I brought that out, ink the shape and ink the table by default are turned off. So that's something to keep in mind as you use this application. Is if you want to use those two features, you do have to turn them on for your whiteboard in order to get the benefit of those. Last thing I want to just kind of go over real quick is exporting and sharing your content. You can export it. You can turn everything into an image file that you can then do whatever with, post somewhere, send somewhere. You can also invite people. Um, to share this whiteboard with you. Now, that does not change where the whiteboard's located at, it's still in your OneDrive, but you're giving permission to those individuals, if they also have whiteboard, to come in here, take a look at your whiteboard, maybe even mark it up a little and whatnot. So you can also do that from the home screen as well. If you're back at the main board menu, you do have the three dots to show the pop-up menu that allows you to also share your board and export that board as well as delete it or give it a name, a title, which appears here. So that's pretty much it. Not a lot to this application. Hopefully you weren't expecting a lot, but hopefully you got something out of it. See how some of those nifty little tools might help you out in the future. So if it was helpful, like or subscribe, or definitely please share it out to someone else who might like this content as well. And I look forward to talking to you again. Thank you.